There we go. All right, there we go. My bad. Welcome to the show. We just watched the craziest 49ers game in recent memory. I think the only one for me that one stacks up with. Well, in person, that was the craziest game I've ever seen. But just games in general I've watched that the Niners won, and last minute like that. The Saints, the 2011 playoff, the Alex Smith catch three. I mean, that was. It was speechless, man. I was about a heart attack here at the stadium. But Amil is in the post game presser right now. He's waiting to come down. Man, it's just that game. I mean, what can you say? It was fantastic. I was so impressed how the Niners turned it around and were able to lock in the way they were, because it was scary. They were not clicking at all, and it wasn't just like offensively. Like, it wasn't just Brock. It didn't just start and end at Brock. It was there was miscommunications. You see Brock yelling at Ray McLeod. You just it, it was ugly. It was an ugly win, but they did it. On to the NFC Championship. Find out who they're playing tomorrow. I think they're playing at 3:30 on Sunday next week. So they should be the first game for the AFC Championship. Yo, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man? I just coming away from that. You feel good. You feel good, right? I mean, do you guys feel good? I'm very happy they won. I'm very content with that win as a fan. You know, but I just think it's too close for comfort. It's too close. They're a very hot team. I get it. Jordan Love was just fuego coming in, just unstoppable. That line was really big. 10 points. Green Bay covered. So take what you want from that. But it just, I guess there was rust, right? There's rust for the Niners. Bye week rose, right, Alex? Yeah. Trap game, sure, all that. The rust was the rust was there, right? I don't think you can deny that. I'd say that it affected everyone pretty much. Maybe not McCaffrey. I guess he started out slow, but they weren't feeding him the ball that much. It didn't feel like it. And then once he popped off for the 35-plus yard run for the touchdown, he was on. He was ready to go. I was impressed how they stayed composed at the end of the game. I was so nervous during that last drive. I didn't know if they had it in them, but I felt a lot more comfortable when Brock scrambled. When he scrambled towards the end zone, he had that big run. It's like an 8-yard run or something. I got a bunch of stats here, but who cares about stats? It doesn't matter what's on the paper, right? I think that in 10 years, if Brock Purdy and Jordan Love are stars in the NFL, I'm not talking like Tom Brady guys, but that's a step or two down, like Drew Brees or even like Phillip Rivers type guys on that level. You're gonna look back at this game and just be like, that was an all-timer for sure. That was it was unbelievable. I think both of these guys are going to flourish and become that. So looking back at this game, you're going to be. It's an instant classic. I think I'm just now kind of comprehending how big and important that game was for the franchise and the guys on the field. And I got done in the locker room about 20 minutes ago, and you could just feel this like relief from these guys. Like, I'm standing right next to Trent Williams, and I'm just like, seeing his smile, like, he's cool and composed always, but just like, we got it done. Shanahan kind of said that. Something similar in the presser. He was deadpan as always. It's funny, but that Bosa effect, Dre Green, yeah, yeah. So the Dre Greenlaw picks. I guess we can talk about those for a second. Let me throw this up here for a sec. The picks, the Dre Greenlaw picks. First of all, amazing, right? It was great. It was great. He got the tip on the first one, and then like Alex is saying, the Bosa pushed him off, or not pushed him off, but the pressure led to the interception. Right? That's kind of how it goes. That man needs to go down. What is he doing? Like, what? I kept yelling during the. You're supposed to be quiet in here, and I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's killing me. But he's just yelling. It's not rugby, Dre. It's not rugby. Like the first time I'm yelling, I'm like grabbing Emil and shaking him. Like, what is he doing? Driving me crazy. So I just, man, it was. Thank you very much. Got some more quotes here from the guys. Appreciate it. Got some post-game quotes here. What I did here when I was in the locker room, George Kittle's getting ready. The kind of the way it works is if they go to the podium, you can't have like a scrum or whatever. So a couple guys got. I see Amil over there. We're gonna have him join us. He's looking around. But I did hear. I'll tell Amil because Amil, hey man, I bet this is real interesting for you guys on YouTube, huh? We're live over here. Yeah, we just went live. Yeah, I just thought we'll just go for it. Let's set up a meal over here. I try to get a decent background. No, it's nice to get the like intensity of like see what's going on in here. So I was just talking about the Greenlaw. I didn't read the Greenlaw quote yet. Oh boy. I didn't read.
You missed a great little tidbit with Fred and Dre. Fred was talking about Greenlaw on the second pick, and Greenlaw comes in the podium, and Fred's talking about like, man, I wanted him to go down. And Dre like peers his head like the Shining kid and like looks at him and goes, "It was your fault, Fred. You told me to go for pick 6."
Oh, that's funny.
Everyone started cracking up.
Man. You're coming out of the locker room. I was just talking about. I was over. So obviously, I was kind of explaining how it works. If the guy talks at the podium, you can't get him in the scrum in the locker room.
Correct.
So I overheard George Kittle talking to somebody, and he was talking about Levi Stadium during the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he was really emphasizing how much better this place is during the play. Like how I hate to say better because he didn't say that word for word. I'm paraphrasing here, but the general idea was. The intensity was up, and he was so on board for the fans. It was very genuine to hear a guy say like that because you hear these guys talk, and they're like, "Oh, we love the fans, we love all that," but he was. I could tell he's like dead serious.
They actually mean it. No, they mean it.
No, he just the way he was talking so casually, he was so on board for. Just the fans like riding by.
No, they really are. I mean, for fans to stick out this game when all hope kind of felt lost for a lot of this contest. Let's be honest here. I mean, this game was controlled by the Packers thoroughly, and for the fans in the rain, in the bad conditions, to not give up, to still have some faith, to still be able to fight back and get in it with just a little bit of hope, And the Carlson miss was the biggest one for them to get back into this game, and they really did.
I was. Walking here, I saw him walking out by himself, and I was like, "Damn, dude, he was sad."
I would be too.
He was,
and it's especially hard too when you have a lot to live up to because that's the younger brother of Daniel Carlson.
He's like one of the top 5,
one of the top kickers in the NFL right now.
Easily.
A rookie was. There was a quote that came out actually during the game from Tom Rinaldi. I believe a lot of people on the broadcast heard it from home, where he asked Matt LaFleur about having a rookie kicker, and he goes, "Honestly, whenever he goes out for a kick, all I do is hope and pray."
That's horrible.
That's such a horrible quote to have from a head coach about just your player. Of like, I just hope and pray that he makes this.
Shanahan said nothing remotely like that.
They never say anything rude about Moody. They're always backing this kid. They think of the world of him, and there's a reason why. Because even though his kick got blocked, and it was looking like he was veering left even before it got blocked. He came back and rebounded with 52 with the 48-yard.
Can I refute that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing that on TV. Listen, I'm a camera guy.
Yeah.
I know a thing or two about cameras.
But angles.
I'm gonna call out our guy Alan Stiles on this because he had this tweet.
He did.
I'll argue he hates Niner fans. So,
He does.
He'll just go, oh, typical Niner fan. But that angle, the camera was off
Yeah.
at a weird, like,
It was.
not even 45-degree
It
angle.
was.
So it was kind of, I think, if you want to say, oh, it was going to hook left, whatever, you go ahead and believe that.
No.
That's fine. But
Nate.
I don't think it's a fair analysis.
Nate, let's be honest with ourselves. Because you were still sitting with me at that time, correct?
Yeah. I didn't talk about that.
What did all three of us say at the same time when he was going out to kick that thing?
I blacked out.
We all said he's not making this kick.
I didn't say
and
that.
he didn't.
I didn't
He
say
didn't. We all
No,
kind
I
of
said
said he wasn't making the kick respectfully.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of confidence in it because it was such a poor execution by the Niners going into the half. I mean, to just kind of, for lack of better terms, rot away a good 50 seconds of clock just because you felt like it is kind of what happened there. And then to just go in and the mindset of just take 3 points, which Kyle actually refuted. We were talking to him. He was like, no, we were trying to do this. I'm like, no. You kind of you had 4 minutes of clock to start that drive, and you let 45 seconds go because you just kind of felt like it.
It's almost like it's better that, like Alex is saying right here, Moody had he didn't get the block, so or blame the guard, whatever. It's almost better that we didn't know the outcome of that, or Jake didn't and the media didn't. Like, no one's gonna know for sure what would have happened, because if he misses that, it's brutal. So I think there's some questions for sure about the clock management at the end of the second quarter.
They had a touchdown on that drive. Alex, which drive are you referring to? I'm just curious. What drive you're referring
to? Oh, the block? No, not the block.
Well, it could have been the block. Could have been the end.
That was 10 and a half. Pretty much, they took a knee. But a lot of slipping, a lot of slip sliding, which I'll take over artificial turf. I mean, you still slip on artificial, but this was a problem early.
This is not artificial turf.
I know.
This is grass.
I'd rather than play on a slippery grass than artificial turf.
They had a TD on that drive, the missed field goal. What do you mean?
The Niner, no, he's talking about a different one. He's talking about Carlson.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to add, the Levi turf has always been kind of a thing. The first time I ever went to Levi Stadium was before they even played a game here. I went here for a on-field practice, drove all the way out here, and with Hardball and all them, 2014 maybe.
Yeah.
And guys were slipping all over the place, and Harbaugh called the practice early, and all the fans just had to go home, and it sucked as we drove 2 hours or whatever. But what's up, Rockin'? Good to see you, man. Good to see you in here.
Rockin' is in here. I got a friend texting right now trying to join it as well. I'm trying to give him the link really quick.
Join into our StreamYard?
Just join it. No, join into the YouTube so we can watch our silly faces as we talk about this. Just pull this up really quick. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about. I was talking about early on how Trent was very calm and collected. He always is, but this time you could tell there was relief from these guys.
Yeah.
Like, even in Shanahan. Did Brock talk about taking off the – You did. Okay, can you talk about that?
Yeah. So he talked about it. He just
here to repeat it.
Yeah, so did Brock talk about – this is from our guy Chris Watkins. Shout out Chris Watkins, also a Niners hater. I think
he just hates the fans.
I know.
I don't think he's a Niners hater. I think he just hates the fans.
I'm sorry. I'm just throwing shots at Chris. Did Brock talk about taking off his glove after the first drive? Yes, he did. So Brock discussed this, and he said basically, when the game first started, it was raining more profusely. And because of that, that's why he was wearing a glove. As the game went on in the first quarter – no, what you're talking about. As the game went on in the first quarter, he felt like, okay, it's just sprinkling. I can take the glove off. And so he just didn't really have the right feel for the ball. And that's kind of how the whole team felt all night, is that the feel was off in certain aspects. Not even like they were like out of sync in terms of they weren't like with their mojo. It's just that the team, just like things weren't going their way. It kind of felt very Ravensy, where it just wasn't going their way. Against the Browns, wasn't going their way. Vikings wasn't going their way. And that's kind of what it was like for them. And so Brock had to deal with a couple of stuff. Thank you, Mike. And Brock had to deal with a couple of stuff like that. And so that's why he had the twisting the glove and the knot, and he ultimately ended up not going with the glove. And while he did have a poor performance up until that final drive, at the end of the day, he still had that final drive going 6 for 7, 47 yards passing in a game winning drive. So yes, it wasn't a great performance from him, but Nick Bosa even said it too in his presser. He goes, I kind of think that we needed that kind of game as a team to come out because they hadn't won a lot of these gritty games all year long.
Yeah. Alex is pointing out, didn't see a lot of play action. You didn't see enough running.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
run play action
when you get 1 or 2 yard runs on first down.
I was upset that McCaffrey wasn't getting runs in the first.
And then when he did, he broke off that big boy one.
I know. You can say, okay. I was talking about this before you came on to rust. How much of a factor was rust? I'm sorry, this is driving me crazy.
I don't even know where to look now.
Just keep looking there.
Look here or look here?
No, look there.
Look here.
Yeah,
see that's where I see. This is what happens. There's two different things. I'm so used to looking at a laptop.
Yeah.
See,
Well, wait. I'm going to enter Rockin's thing real quick.
Yeah, what's Rockin's
I thought Kittle would get more looks after Debo left. He kept dropping the ball.
He had one drop.
Okay, you're right.
One drop.
He should have because he had that. He had that run in that smash hit at the end.
Yeah.
I don't even know that was on, but yeah, he did have that drop, which sucked. But the looks just weren't there. But anyway, sorry.
The looks weren't there because they were getting pressure. They were getting pressure. They were getting to Brock, and we were talking about the couple people actually sitting next to us. Brock looked very flat-footed. Brock Purdy has been so great at finding the right play. Audible into the right call, hitting the right read, the first read, the second read, even the third read. Well, tonight, it felt like he was very flat-footed. He was very stonewalled. He didn't feel in rhythm with his offense a lot. But at the end of the day, the great ones make the right plays and make enough plays for the team to win, and that's kind of what happens. So, wow, it was a very poor performance for him, absolutely, and one that I will look back to and be like, okay, Brock, you got to have a full game here in the playoffs. Are you going to go into next week and have a full game? He made the right plays at the end of the game, made a laser throw to Chris Conley along the sideline, the out route, and they did enough to win, and that's really all that matters here.
Here's the difference, yeah. Brock reminded me of Jimmy G tonight, except the final drive.
Yep.
Exact. Yeah. That's what makes him not Jimmy G.
Yes.
What he did was his defining play tonight was the scramble.
Yes.
That, in my opinion. His defining play was the scramble, putting the team kind of on his back after not playing that IU third down. That was great too. But for me, I kind of felt like a moment in time was happening with the scramble. And in the chat, let me know if it's too loud around us, if we need to move or something too. If it's getting
we can do that.
We can do it. We got all these papers here. We got all these stupid quotes we got to talk about.
There's a lot of quotes to talk about.
Even Ayuk, I think, maybe have the best game besides Drake Greenlaw.
Yeah.
He missed, I guess he had one drop, but it was kind of knocked out of his hands. But that low, he had that, shin catch.
Oh, to Brandon?
Ayuk.
Yeah, that was
insane. Okay, thanks, Rocket. Let me know if it just gets too much. We're gonna stay live, I think, for a little while here.
Yeah,
we're not in a rush.
I got plenty of time.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. I'm gonna go home and rewatch that game.
My heart is still kind of up here right now, boys and girls. It really is.
I was just trying to explain. Not many sacks. You're right. No. One sack, and I don't know who it was, but I know one sack.
Hold on.
I was again before you got here, Amil. I was just talking about for me as a fan, the closest game was the Saints. To 2011. That holds the same weight and was that intense and had that kind of weight. I don't even know how to describe it. Just emotionally how it felt. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this posted up too.
Emotionally, this game, I get your sentiment there because I also watched that game as a child, and that was a very memorable game for me because of how back and forth it was with the scoring. Niners scored there, then Drew Brees goes down and scores there. I mean, it came down to Vernon Davis doing some special stuff at the end there. But this game was more so one of those where you're sitting there like, man, Niners want to win tonight. They really want to win this game. Do they want to come out of here and go in the next round? Because it feels like this team just wasn't clicking. But despite that, and despite playing a red-hot Green Bay team, they held them to 21 points. And I know that's not saying a lot in terms of this Niners team, because this Niners team has been one of the best in the NFL for many years now, last 2 years especially. But to hold Green Bay to only 21 points when they are dominating the rhythm of this contest, similar to how the Baltimore Ravens did a few weeks ago on Christmas night. To hold them to 21 points was super, super crucial. And to have the defense get not one, not two, but it feels like 3 red zone stops on this team against this Packers offense. It was red hot with Jordan Love. I mean, that was the reason why they stayed in this game, because they were never more than 1 score down. They were only 7 points down pretty much the rest of the way, even when they went down there after the big plays. So that was really the kicker there for this Niners team, is that, yes, it felt like they weren't in control of this game, but yet they were still within grasping reach of the contest despite that.
Alex says that game felt like a lot like a McVay game, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that is, the coaching tree thing.
Shanahan,
right? Shanahan coaching
we knew they were
tree.
going to look for the first time in a long time. Matt LaFleur was out Kyle Shanahan. That's how this game felt for a lot of it. The run game was working. The play action was working for them. They were getting explosive plays over the top. Jordan Love was doing the right things. He was doing exactly what LaFleur was asking of him. Where on the flip side, Purdy wasn't seeing the field the same way he had been doing it. The run game was working sometimes. It wasn't working all the time. It was super inconsistent. But yet, because of the players they had, and maybe that was also because they lost Deebo Samuel. That was also big, big news, which, again, we forget the Niners went 0-3 without Deebo Samuel earlier in the season. Deebo is such an important part of this team. They had to really scramble without him on the field. Head injury, shoulder injury. We'll see what happens with that. But this Niners team is resilient as hell, and they need this gritty kind of win. And this might be the win that propels them into a massive NFC Championship win, because they got the monkey off their back. They got this weight off their shoulders of resiliency and gritty and grinding it out in the rain and poor conditions, and things aren't going your way, yet you still win the damn game. And that's really what all it comes down to.
Let's talk penalties. The Niners have 1 penalty in their favor.
What?
I can't think of. Did Green Bay commit a single penalty?
They did. It was I think they had 1 penalty.
Because I guess they had the offsetting.
Right here.
They had the offsetting early on.
Yeah. They had 1 penalty for 5 yards, and the Niners had 6 for 83.
Dude,
usually when that happens, they don't win games.
I'm gonna kill, dude.
No, don't say that. Careful now. We love Ambry Thomas.
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
We want Ambry to play better.
I was not gonna say that.
We've seen Ambry Thomas at his peak. There was a 3-week span during the regular season where Ambry Thomas was playing lights out for the Niners team. He was the missing cog in the secondary that they have been clamoring for. I'm in a suit.
It's so hot.
I'm just chilling right now. I'm in a suit.
How are you not hot?
Because I'm cold-blooded.
Anyway. Oh wow. I try to get the camera so it's not just. Give me a second, man. I'm trying to.
But look, I lost my train of thought.
I just Ambry Thomas.
Yeah, Ambry. Thank you.
It was 3rd and 15.
Yeah, those are plays you can't
make.
Do
that, man.
You just turn around. Look at the ball. That's a pick. It's one of those scramble drills. It's I call it the Derek Carr special, where you just throw it far down the field and hope for a PI.
Yeah.
It's the Derek Carr special, and Jordan Love executed it perfectly because he knew pick on their weaknesses, go over the top, and every time. Thank you, Mike.
Will you give Jordan Love a 1 to 10 ranking
Today?
Yeah.
So the first 3 quarters, he was an 8. In the last quarter, he was a 4.
No, full game.
Oh, full game? Okay, then a 6.
Yeah, he blew it at the end.
He blew it at the end. He had 2 picks.
It's gonna be fire. Yeah, Drape says, just give Drape some love from us.
Drape's already tweeted out, where can I get a Bucks or a Lions jersey?
God, he's the worst.
Trust me, I have to deal with him every Friday. It's a pain in my butt.
He's the worst.
It's a pain in my butt. He's such a pain in my butt. I'm just getting some Eric Armstead quotes.
Got some Eric. Yeah, we heard Eric in there.
Yeah,
Wait, so Eric, did he speak at the podium?
No.
Yeah, no.
So you're getting a lot of the stuff that I didn't get, and I have a lot of the stuff that you
I was in there. There was only a few dudes being interviewed. Like McCaffrey wasn't talking.
Someone just texted me. There were literally 0 seconds I thought you would lose that game. I don't know what game you were watching, because I definitely thought they were going to lose that game.
You did think that, and I was getting scared. Hargrave was quiet. There needs to be more pressure on the quarterback.
Not more pressure, more sacks.
You're right.
Pressures don't.
Clarify that.
Respectfully, pressures don't mean anything. You need to get sacks. Get some sacks, boys.
Yeah.
You're Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead are one of the most elite defensive lines in the NFL. Act like it.
Act like it. Grow up, guys. Rocket, everyone, thanks for just being in
Appreciate
here.
you guys,
Appreciate
yeah.
it. It's a long day for us. We're just in the 12-hour mark, actually.
That's like a light work to me.
It's still a long day.
I once
It'd
did
be a long day.
the
You have to brag.
fair. The Trey Lance day I did 18 hours straight. It was ridiculous.
Which Trey Lance day?
When Trey Lance got traded.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I literally texted. I texted my boss Joe DeRose, and I was like, "Well, I have Trey Lance, I have Kyle Shanahan, and I have GM John Lynch, who've all spoken today.
Yeah.
I have to do all 3 stories. I'm gonna be up till 5 a.m.
Yeah, Manny, we have not had dinner yet. I'm probably.
Are you hungry?
A little bit.
There's like pizza over there.
Is that for us?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza.
Okay. It's not very good, but
Oh, hey, Toby. That's Jared. That's my
Jared.
family friend. I'll be right back.
Jared. Chase has been playing more bulky. Alex, describe what you mean by that. Like he's playing like a defensive tackle. Like what's he playing? What's he playing like to you? I'm baffled, guys. Honestly, I'm baffled. Like I'm sitting here watching this game, and I'm just getting flashbacks to the Ravens, getting flashbacks to the Eagles in that first quarter, getting flashbacks to the Bengals, getting flashbacks to Cleveland. I can see the tunnel to failure. Unfortunately, I can see it because I've seen it with this Niners team this year. As wonderful as are they out?
Yeah.
That's sad.
You snooze, you lose on the pizza.
Yeah. This Niners team, as talented as they are, and I say it every single week on my Friday hit with Drapes and Whitey, if they just don't shoot themselves in the foot, they can go all the way. But for some reason, they shoot themselves in the foot every like 3rd or 4th game, it feels like, with this team, where they can't get out of their own way. And today kind of felt like that too, of like, what's going on with this offense? Why can't the defense get stops? And yet they got just enough to win this game, and that's really all that matters.
I mean, it was heart attack mode for me.
It was hard to for all of us.
We can go. I'm just gonna get a little personal how I handled it. I don't know if you guys care, but I don't have great analysis for you. I couldn't get the pizza, man. It's gone.
Pizza's gone.
Lose. Yeah, movie kicks make me nervous. So in this media area behind us, you got to be pretty quiet. I'm sitting next to Amil, and I just couldn't hang out over there. I had to like go and sit away from everybody, and it was really like emotionally rough. We got Imran in here. What did he say?
I almost drove down to Levi's
to tackle
Greenlaw.
Dude, go down, bro. I don't know what he's doing. Like, I mean, I'm yelling at him. This isn't rugby. This isn't rugby,
dude. All the players were also yelling to get down. So was Kyle. So was all of Levi. So was all of the media, because we were acting like, why is he playing like it's rugby? I don't get what's going on right now.
So let's talk about the weather too. I'm hearing Larry next to us talk about it, but I'm looking outside. It's still wet. The rain essentially stopped in the 4th quarter, pretty much.
Yeah.
But otherwise, throughout the game, it was really sporadic, where it'd be really, really heavy, and then basically to where the air was wet, where it was like a very like thin mist, where it was coming down. But it seemed to show up at unfavorable times for the 49ers in critical moments. But, however, that whole first 3 quarters, it felt like every snap was critical for the Niners.
Yeah.
I felt
– they had the ball, though. That's why.
What do you feel like the percentage the Niners were at? Like, I don't feel like they played the game at 100%. What do you know what I mean?
100%. They were like 50% at best.
So you think they were 50% their potential?
They admitted it themselves. We did not play a good game. We did not play well.
That would have been.
We got to clean up a lot of stuff
this season.
We're
at the game right now, Manny.
It was more so of a heartbreaker, because, especially Nick Bosa said this too, this group of guys they have this year, they really feel like they can really, like they felt that way last year as well. They can win it all. This year, though, they kind of have everything they really need. And Brock's a year older and understands this stuff more. So they're just hoping that he can learn off of this game and get this monkey off his back in this weird environment with the weather and playing a divisional game and a team you know very, very well. and go into next week in the championship game playing the Lions, who you haven't played in a long time, and the Buccaneers, who you throttled earlier this year at Levi's here.
Do you want the Bucs next week?
Yes, you want the Bucs.
This game was so important for Brock Purdy's development too. This was better than if he would have blown him out like 30-10.
I disagree, but okay.
No. This is better for him.
Okay, mentally, sure, yes.
Yeah, to grow as a player because now he's done it. We haven't. That's the knock, right? That's been the knock, and there was a stat going in 0-30 when Shanahan. I know it's the Shanahan stat, but 0-30.
I think it's one. I think it's either 0-30 or 1-30. Yeah, I think you're correct.
Going down by 5 into the fourth. He's ready for a dominant. I think he is. I think there was rust there, especially not playing against the Rams. Get the week off. He does not like the rain. No. I think that. So this is his second rainy game.
Because he played in Seattle with the bad weather too, though.
That's true. My father was there actually with Jared.
Yeah, he played in Seattle with the look. I think it's just Brock wasn't on tonight. And you can kind of have one of those days where you're not on. I just think Brock wasn't on tonight.
The problem is so many other people weren't on.
Yeah, everyone just felt kind of off.
Did you see when he just laid into Ray? Brock?
Oh, I didn't.
Well, it looked like what I saw. There was a missed throw to Ray. It looked like Ray ran the wrong route, and he fingertipped
that play.
To the wrong step, and it was crucial. I think it was 3rd and 10 or something.
No, I remember that play.
He was pissed. He was so mad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Imran's throwing me off in here.
I think it might be Shep, actually.
How did Purdy do today? Oh, is it Shep? I want to answer this one for Manny, though, because I kind of just asked you this. Purdy, if you were to rate his game 1 to 10, you go first. Manny?
Do I want to be nice?
You do what you have to do.
Okay.
But I'm going to give an answer that's different from yours, and I'll tell you.
Because you're saying for the whole game, right? You're not saying for –
Yes.
Okay, for the whole game. Because I can give you one for the fourth quarter, but for the whole game, like a 3.
Oh, my God.
Like, he was horrible, dude.
Okay, I'm giving him –
He should have had a pick 6 on the first drive.
He basically had a game-winning touchdown, so I'm going to say 8.
He gets the 3 for having the game-winning drive.
That's crazy.
He just does.
He did. It was
He wasn't
the 3
good.
Is wild. I thought at 8.
He wasn't so
different on this. This can be a great conversation this week.
He wasn't good. I don't know what game you were. He wasn't good.
No, I know. I know he wasn't, but he had a game-winning drive, and that
and the 3 comes from the game-winning drive. It really does.
Ronnie Bell was not activated, correct?
He was not. That was really
if Debo doesn't play next week,
he will be.
You can bet your buns.
You can bet your buns. He will be.
Bet your buns.
Which I'm just gonna share a little light because you were there too. Optimism is not great for Debo Samuel right now. I'll be honest with you.
Kyle
compared to the Browns
Shanahan,
injury,
not Draper. He did compare it to the Browns, which means if they get to the Super Bowl, they could probably play in that.
There's it. Kyle compared it to Debo's injury after the Cleveland game, which was a hairline fracture, and he missed 3 weeks because of it. So I'm just going to lay that out there right now. What he was kind of experiencing on the sideline and not being able to play through it showed me the injury was severe enough for him to not play in a playoff game, and that's severe, which is an issue.
Jawan was insane tonight. Jawan had a superstar game. Just important moment, but that's classic. That's classic Jawan Jennings. Like when the moment's big, he does what he has to do.
Jawan making those catches, dude.
Chris Conley too.
Chris Conley, man.
Catch on the side.
We gave him a lot of flack for not playing well against the Rams in the preseason Week 18 game, but man, having that big catch on the out route to really put them in field goal or in red zone, I should say, on that last drive was very, very impressive.
Jawan over the middle was Imran. Shout out you two for closing early so your shop can
shout out
watch the game.
Imran.
Debo missed next week. I think he'll suit up Super Bowl. Yeah,
I can see that.
I agree. It kind of seemed for a bit. So initially, when we're in there, we got the word that he was being evaluated for concussion. He got cleared.
He was cleared of that.
And then a couple minutes after that, Debo's injured shoulder. And then he kept going into the locker room, all this stuff. So I'm kind of feeling it's not horrendous right now. I don't think it's
Look, it's two different injuries. A head injury is whatever, that's fine, but it's a shoulder injury.
well. A head injury is not whatever. It's fine.
No, he got cleared. He's good.
Yeah.
As in he can go. He got the head injury in the first quarter, and then was cleared and went back in the game, and then suffered the shoulder injury. That's the issue. Is that it was two different injuries.
No Mitchell Mason basically at all, and that's because it's playoff time, and we're not messing around anymore.
We're not messing around.
He wasn't during the regular season with load management. Didn't really care. Kind of the end of the season changed a bit.
CMC.
Now it's playoff time, Alex. So I think it's all CMC all day, as much as you can, especially with Debo out.
Which is exactly what they did, and I'm pulling up the offensive stats.
You know what's funny too? Kyle mentioned they had Juwan Jennings run that play. That was on accident. They called that without realizing Juwan
was in.
And there was he had a missed call, I think, in the in the huddle where it was I forget what the call was, but to not hand it to Juwan, then it missed, and sure enough, you get Juwan for -1. That was not a great play.
I think it's really look. George has really made it really funny. He's like, what can Juwan do? Maybe put in a running back, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they had never run that play with Juwan Jennings in the backfield in their entire lives. And yet Juwan Jennings somehow knew exactly where to line up for that set. I don't know how he did
because he knows the plays, unlike maybe Ray Ray.
No, I'm just saying that's impressive to know that play because usually he's the blocker on that.
Yeah, he is. He's a great blocker. So it was interesting. I was like, we're coming out in this desperate drive. Our first play is a handoff.
Oh, dude,
to Juwan Jennings out of the not the pistol, but whatever it is when they're on the
just
side.
Head scratching. I was so confused.
Like, what the hell are we doing? And sure enough, that was a 3 and out. It's like that's a terrible. If that's a loss, and you're listening to Kyle in the post game,
this is a good question too.
All right,
did Purdy not practice footballs anytime during the time off? We talked about this on Thursday with him, or Wednesday. He did not. He did not play wet footballs during the time off. They don't really get into that superstitious stuff here where they're
that doesn't seem superstitious.
But they're not trying to put it into his head and prediction with that stuff. They're just trying to play football.
Yeah.
They don't try to make a bigger deal out of it. Maybe they should.
Let's look at the weather next week, huh?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
As we take you along in this journey.
Let's take a little peek here. Oh, clear. It's looking clear right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, where is
a little
that?
cold. That's Santa Clara.
Oh, it's Celsius.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You look at weather in Celsius?
I do, and it's because my friend I met in Davis, he's from China. He's Chinese, so we were he was learning English when we'd hang out. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn something. I'm gonna learn Celsius, to just be even. So I just know Celsius now.
I couldn't tell you.
Sorry,
Celsius.
I looked at it like it was normal. Yeah,
I looked. It said 19 degrees, and I was like, wait,
it's freezing.
Is it in Detroit?
Yeah. In a dome, though. In a dome. I will say in a dome in Detroit. That poor woman.
I know that poor. Here's the thing. As a media member, know the facts before you ask the questions. So just ask the questions.
Finish typing that.
Anyway.
Rocking. We should be. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me check the schedule.
It's a Wednesday at 6 or 7. I have talked to Jason about it.
Darn it!
I've talked to Jason about this. It'll be Tuesday moving forward.
No, we can cuss on here. It's YouTube. We can cuss.
No, we can't.
Yeah. So Wednesday. That sucks. It's not consistent.
I talked with Jason about this, and he got the dates wrong. He thought we usually do them on Wednesdays. I was like, no, I've always done them on Tuesdays.
Can we change it?
I've tried to.
It's too late.
It's a Jason question. If you want to go to bat for me, you can. I kind of picked a fight with him the other day.
Yeah, you should pick a fight with the nicest man on the planet.
Well, he got mad at me because I was trying to change stuff around. Oh. Jason's got a lot on his plate right now, so I ain't trying to pick a fight with Jason.
What was the best food you got? Best food. Today we had carne asada tacos. I think they were handmade tortillas, and they're all cooked right in front of us, and it was delicious.
And it was
and they give you so much candy. They give you Sour Patch Kids that are only red and gold. And it was very funny, and I like that. I do more of that stuff.
This is the gold standard of media food. I will say that.
Amil tweeted out that way, so we're on it. Yeah, we will update you on that, Rockin'. I'm sure you'll
I
be
will.
listening to our shows.
Once I know on Monday and confirm with Jason, I will.
I also will be producing midday shows this week, so
Look at you.
I'm sure you'll be in there. That's what I normally do.
Still look at you.
Still look at me. I get tomorrow off. Carne asada tacos, they were amazing. Some sour cream, some powdered Parmesan, and not that Parmesan out of the green lid stuff in the plastic. Okay,
No,
the good stuff.
Can I have mine?
It's good.
Fred.
Mike, you're the man.
We got
Did
some
you get
Fred.
McCaffrey? No,
We have a McCaffrey.
Thank you.
Cool. The one thing I do want to talk about. I don't want to say there were excuses from the Niners players today, but when they asked if did you feel where things were off, they're like, no, everything was the same.
Shanahan was a little weird with Mayoko.
Oh, that
about
was-
too, because Mayoko's like, did you feel off on Brock feel off on certain? And he's like,
What place?
well, yeah, specifically, tell me. And then Mayoko's like, well, just kind of in general. And he's like,
Respectfully, Kyle Shanahan doesn't like to be challenged like that, even from guys he's talked to for a while.
I just think you need to come with specifics.
You
I
do.
think you need to come at him with your, I'm going to phrase this like an argument. Like, you need to come with your information ready so he can answer your question and not just be like just sitting there clueless and just saying things for no reason.
Kyle also likes to. Kyle likes to challenge the reporter to know the facts too. Same with a lot of the other players.
It's their job.
It's their job. Yes.
Not my stupid job, though. I'm just a video guy.
And so,
I don't have to know
I
anything.
always find it interesting though when they back up to any criticism, because we were asking a lot of tough questions today, and they were like, "No, it was just we just didn't have it on certain spots. It wasn't like we were out of rhythm, we felt off or anything. We just didn't have it in certain
I don't
spots."
believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe
I don't buy it either. But that's kind of what the answers they gave us. They all kind of gave us the same answer.
Yep. We just have 45-minute show.
Like for example, we asked Christian McCaffrey, "Do you feel like it was the layoff that made it hard to get started?" I don't know what the reasons were. Playoff football is tough. Sometimes when you have
That's what Trent said too.
sometimes when you have a little time off, it's hard to replicate football. You can call it that, but we never know for sure.
Yeah.
It's very move around the question answers of really. Anyway, that's my whole beef with that. But again, what are they gonna do? Say that they played like hell for 40 minutes and then they figured it out for the last 15? They're not gonna say that. This team loves this team. They do. They love every single person on this roster for a reason. And they're not going to talk bad about any of their players because that's not who they are. They're not the Eagles. They're not the Cowboys. This team loves this team, and they're going to stick by them. It's the Niners way. It's one for all for one.
I think that's where we ended. I'm happy.
Yeah.
That was an insane game. On to Santa Clara. Right
My
back.
heartbeat's come down a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a long drive.
Recap coming up in the next half hour or so. I'll be out of here by
Show
11.
Wednesday, I think, for us.
Good wish.
I'll be on all week with Midday if you guys want to talk and harass me.
I'll be on Monday at 11 o'clock.
Chat gets a little wild though. But
Check.
just really quiet in here.
Chat gets a little wild always.
Got a bunch of paperwork for you guys. I'm gonna frame all.
Here's the
this.
good news, though. 68 and sunny next Sunday, most likely here at Levi's. So that's good to see because the Niners play really, really well in good weather.
Debo, let's all everybody in here. Let's take a second and just put
Pray.
your energy towards Debo Samuel's health.
If you can donate a
Just
shoulder
think
to
about
him, please do.
I would if I could.
Donate
I
some
would if I
ligaments,
Yeah.
some bones. I don't know.
All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Peace, everyone.
We'll see you later. We appreciate it.